Hi, I'm Ray Grijalva, and this is The Joy of the Faith. Last week we started our series, How to Be a Man, in which we focused on 4 attributes that were critical in being a man. This week we're going to focus on courage. And I'm going to give you a few tips that you can apply in your own life in regards to time management, self-control, and many other things. And while this video is tailored towards men, ladies, if you're watching, feel free to continue because you can definitely live a courageous life. And in fact, your witness could inspire the men in your lives to live a more courageous life. And as I said before, I'm not an expert in courage. I'm not like the most courageous man, although I'm striving to be. So what I did was I took the writings of Aristotle, the most influential man in human history, according to MIT, and Augustine of Hippo, the most influential philosopher of the last 2,000 years, and from this was able to make the suggestions that I'm going to make in this video. So first we'll start with Aristotle, who said, "Courage involves pain and is justly praised, for it is harder to face what is painful than to abstain from what is pleasant." Man, I didn't hold back on that quote, right? I mean, Aristotle says it pretty plainly. Courage involves pain. But I think we need to look at courage in a different light because so many people think that courage is like an act that we do and it's like, oh my gosh, what a hero. And like for the rest of your life, it's like, man, what a courageous person. But what it really is like your daily actions. So I'll give you a few examples, a few things that you can apply in your own life, right? So I said time management before. Think about when you come home from work or on the weekend or something like that and like the game's on, but you had this really crazy argument with your spouse or like you need to get something done, but you're just holding off, like procrastinating. It's courageous to say, all right, I know this game's on, or like, I know this event's going on, but right now I'm going to address what's important. Or say you're preparing for a talk or an exam or something like that. And while you're preparing, you're on the computer, right? So man, it's so easy to go to Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, whatever. But what's important? It's important that you have that courage to say, no, I'm going to hold off on that. Or I'm only going to do it for like 5 minutes so that I can focus on this. That's true courage. And think about it. If you've grown in that ability to say no to like little things and to moderate yourself, imagine how easy it's going to be to have a real monumental act of courage when the time is right. Another example, self-control. So all of us wake up in the morning, right? After like 15 alarms or something like that. And a little act of courage is, once your first alarm goes off, as long as you set it at like a decent time, get up. It's a really hard thing to do. It's sometimes known as the heroic minute, and I like really stink at it. So if you can do it, like you're way better than me, so there you go. But that little act of courage will allow you to wake up in the middle of the night when something's going on, or when your kid really needs you, or when your friend is like stuck somewhere and they need your help. A final thing that I'll say is, in regards to the appetite, right? In regards to what we like to eat. If we can fast and like, say no to dessert or something like that, eat less, we'll be able to endure the pain that is needed when a truly gigantic act of courage is needed. I mean, we look at all these like prisoners of war and stuff like that. How were they able to have that courage? They built it up through mental preparation done by probably things like fasting. I mean, rationing, right? What a perfect example. You truly become courageous by small acts of courage. So I encourage you in your own life, take those little acts of courage. Fast from lunch or fast from dinner. Say, all right, I'm only going to do 10 minutes of social media tonight. Say, all right, I'll watch the highlights of this game because I really need to help my wife out with this thing. I really need to build that fence. I really need to paint the whatever, Then you were growing as a man in courage. Next, we'll look into what Augustine of Hippo wrote. He said, "Fortitude is love readily bearing all things for the sake of the loved object." And many of you may not know what fortitude is, so the definition is to bear pain or adversity with courage. So basically, courage is the ability to give up everything for the sake of something that you love. And the classic example is people that have gone off to war. Men and women have fought for our country out of love for their family, their freedom, and the great opportunities. Athletes have been courageous in doing incredible things for the love of the sport and their team. And now the question I have for you is, do you love something enough to bear all things for it? What inspires you to be courageous? And if you don't have one thing that you're focused on, your family, God, your friends, sports, that really drive you, then you may not have courage, but today is a great day to start. So I encourage you, find that thing that you can sacrifice for, that you can bear all things for, and then begin to grow in courage by making little acts of courage. And when that moment comes where you have to be truly courageous, I'm sure you'll be in a lot better place. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Have an incredible day, and God love you.